stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the door. Stay clear of the door. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA.
Welcome aboard the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. This is Justin Monorail, and this is episode number 239 of the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. Today's Monday, February the 17th, 2025, halfway through the month, more than halfway through the month. Valentine's is behind us, so we can get all that sappy stuff out of our system. Now is the season for anger, evil, and hatred. I'm just kidding. That's not true at all. We love you all the time. 365 days a year and 366 on leap years. That's how often and how frequent we send our love to you, the Monorail fam. But before we get into Disney news and all the updates from around the Walt Disney World Resort, I've got to welcome in my partner in crime for the day. We're down Landon because he's traveling. He's in his favorite city in the world, Chicago. Very jealous of him because he got to go see Taylor Tomlinson last night as we record this. She's one of my favorites. But I'm not going to hold that against him. Good for him. I'm proud. I'm happy for him. It's all love here. But let me bring in my cohort. My minion to my Gru. It's Steppers. Steppers, welcome to the podcast. How you doing? Happy Valentine. We're recording on Valentine's Day.
We are. I was gonna say you're like shoo-shooing the Valentine's Day. I'm festive. I'm in red. If you're watching the YouTube, listen, Gimli's really vibing with this recording right. But yeah, no. I'm good. It's Valentine's Day. I made Jackson some cinnamon rolls.
Nice.
Got some flowers.
Cinnamon rolls are love. Are the flowers that you received in the picture behind you?
That's right.
Yes.
They're right here. Yeah.
Very good.
So if you're watching this on the tube of you can see my pretty flowers. And yeah.
What is Gimli so excited about?
I don't know. Someone walking by probably. But honestly, he's probably so excited that Landon is in his favorite place ever.
Yeah. We're all happy for Landon and Lindsay. They're sort of celebrating their anniversary as well. I didn't know that. I guess they officially started dating around Valentine's Day. Listen, if I'm giving you any independent advice for those of you lonely hearts out there, don't start dating at Valentine's Day. That's a terrible time to start. Do it after.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in my relationship for about 10 years, and I've got to say I did it right after Christmas. Also recommended. But I did, get married 2 days before my birthday. So really, he still got the short end of the straw in the long run. But you got to play the long game for that. You know what I mean? The long game. Also, it really depresses me because no one is going to understand the minion to your Gru comment because that was an offline conversation. But let's just say, if you ever tune into my Twitch streams, you can find out what that means.
And you should always tune in to Stepher's Twitch stream. She's going to be streaming later tonight, and it's going to be too late for you to see it because this is coming out later. But
Wednesday.
Join her Wednesday this week, and you can see. I don't know if she'll be full minion, but she might be. I've heard you should never go full minion.
There are many things that people say, and that's maybe one of them, actually. So it's fair. It's fine.
Well, I took it as, even if people don't have the context of our offline conversation, they know that you are a Universal lover, and so it's okay to make that connection. And we've got to do a Across the Universal very, very soon. And I'll tell you why.
Especially with Epic coming up.
Epic's coming up, and the other side is I have Mardi Gras gripes that I want to share this year.
Okay, if you listen, Mardi Gras, I'm going to say it before you poo-poo or gripe or whatever you're going to do. Mardi Gras is probably one of my favorite times of year to visit Universal Orlando. I think it's super underrated. I think now, like in the past couple of years, attendance has been higher and people have been hyping it up a lot more. but that is probably one of the most what's the word? Not lively. I don't think lively is a good word, but like it's just like the atmosphere is
Hmm.
just so like celebratory that I love it. The Mardi Gras float parade, all of that is just about.
Oh
And
yeah.
I really enjoy the food. They really started ube the last, I don't want to, like 2, 3 years ago when I went with Theme Park Rob and Cocktail Bob. They
Hmm.
had some ube stuff and they brought it back last year, I think. And it's just, listen, they're stepping up.
So this is part of my gripe, Steffers,
Oh no.
because this is the 30th anniversary of the Mardi Gras celebration. You know I love it too. I've sang the praises of Mardi Gras in
Oh,
the
we're both
past.
turning 30 in the same
Very
year.
sweet. But your
Oh,
30th is going to be epic. Theirs at for Mardi Gras is not. And I'll just tell you it's because they're scaling back the booths. Now it could be because they're putting all their money into finishing up Epic Universe.
probably.
So maybe they cut some Mardi Gras expenses, but
Well, I don't, well, okay. I don't necessarily think it like kind of goes into expenses, but I think their staff, like I think they're starting to
well,
move their
they're
team
training
members.
people and stuff.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the things I've heard through the vine, that I can't fully disclose, things are moving, and I think that that is why
Ah, that could be.
um
That makes sense.
that there's a little finicky
It could
stuffs.
it could be a little bit of both, but I'll just say for the 30th, this is a milestone anniversary. I thought that they would go bigger. And if you know me at all, you know that one of my favorite things about Universal Mardi Gras is the Bloody Mary booth. I
I
love
don't
it.
know. I don't know. I know where
And
this is
so
going.
so here's the problem. This year there is no Bloody Mary booth.
Hmm.
The only way you can get a Bloody Mary is if you go to the Coca-Cola Marketplace, which is it's like the permanent structure that's across from Transformers, right on the water. They have a menu there where you can get some Mardi Gras favorites, and then they also have a Bloody Mary. It's called the BLTC Bloody Mary this year. There's only one option. You can't get it spicy because normally you can get your Bloody Mary wild. They don't have a wild option. And all it is basically they give you a skewer that's like a caprese salad because it's mozzarella, tomato, and arugula on the skewer on the skewer, and then they put candied bacon in it. They almost lost me entirely because when I ordered the thing, the guy was like, "Yeah, I can get that for you, but I just got to tell you, we're out of bacon." So I'm like, "Okay," so I get a LTC Bloody Mary. The I was very lucky. The bacon flew in right as he was delivering my drink, and so he grabbed me one and dropped it in. But it was just a pedestrian Bloody Mary. The only highlight was the bacon was good. Otherwise, man, it broke my heart. It really did. And so Mardi Gras got some work to earn back my love for this year because that really was a dagger right off the bat. I'm just saying. Bloody Mary
Well,
sadness.
I mean, listen, thing, I can't. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Mardi Gras is a great time of year. However, I think they are going to. I don't want to say they're going to suffer a little bit, but I do think like they're in a transition period. Like that's the only thing I can think of. Like either whether it's scaling back in terms of finances and they're just not putting it whatever, or like the team members, there's just not enough, or not enough in terms of like they're redistributing right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that makes me sad to hear, but
Yeah. The last couple years when you get the deluxe Mardi Gras, the deluxe Bloody Mary, you get like last year it was a hot chicken slider that came on
oh
top of the
yeah.
Bloody Mary, and that was good. 2 years ago, it was like a bunch of stuff. You got like a whole pickled okra, you got a shrimp, you got like there was a whole bunch of things on it, like a meal on top of your Bloody Mary, which is kind of what I've come to expect. But now I guess what I would say is if that's what you're expecting from your Bloody Mary, you better bring your accoutrement from home because you're not getting
True.
it there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But you know what? I have a solution for you if you'd like to bring your accoutrement with you to the parks. Because
Oh
you can.
no.
You could
Oh
you could
no.
you could do it, but you're gonna have it in your room. And if in order to have those groceries, those things that you want that you might want to put on top of your Bloody Mary at home, you can use vacation grocery delivery.
What a segue. What a segue.
As you know, we now are affiliated. We're partners with Vacation Grocery Delivery, and they are your go-to provider for grocery delivery services to your resort when you visit Disney, Universal, when you're in Orlando. These are former Disney cast members, and they know what you want. They get you, they understand it, and they can help you out, not just with groceries, but strollers, coolers, birthday cakes. They can do water delivery. Check out their website, www.vacationgrocerydeliveryfl.com, and make sure to use the promo code DIZMornings with an S for $5 off any grocery order or $10 off any two magical items on the magical extras. I actually checked this out. Some of you may or may not be aware there's this group out there called the Disney Day Drinkers Group, D3. You can get a Disney Day Drinkers challenge coin as one of the magical extras. I noticed that on their website when I checked it out recently. So maybe you're at the parks, you realize you didn't have a challenge coin and you don't want to get challenged. Make sure you get it. But anyway, check it out. Make sure to finalize your orders 3 days before you want it to be delivered. That gives them plenty of time to hook you up. Fees are a $25 delivery fee plus a 5% service charge, and a $20 activation fee applies, but it's refunded after you pay for your order.
Go team.
Go team. They're our friends. Help them, help us, help you. And with that, I think we should jump into the Walt Disney World news. That's right, dreamers. We're back once again with the headlines from the Walt Disney World Resort. We have scoured the internet. We've compiled the information. And as always, you can follow along with us if you visit DizMornings.com, where we post news. We have a rumor tracker. We've got everything you need. All the tools for planning your Walt Disney World vacation are at DizMornings.com. We're happy to be part of the Diz Mornings network. Go check it out. But you're here with us today, and we are going to do this audiobook style. So just enjoy the sounds of our voice. I'm going to start. We don't have an article posted about this. This is just something that happened last week that I don't know if everybody was aware of. February 11th, it happened to be a night that Disney was doing an after-hours party at the Magic Kingdom. Around 6 p.m., there was a massive power outage. 18 rides went down for about 3 hours. According to Scott Gustin, the downtime was caused by a power outage that led to a failure of the park-wide air compression system. The only rides operating were the TTA, Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor, Haunted Mansion, Jungle Cruise, Mickey's PhilharMagic, and Tron. Luckily, all those attractions were back online by about 9 o'clock, which is great because imagine you paid, what are those after-hours parties going like, $200 a person? And most of the park is down. They would have just had to send everybody home. And I'm wondering, because, when you get a ticket for an after-hour party, you can come in the park early. So if people got there around like 4 or 5 o'clock and then all of a sudden the park goes dead, do they just say, well, let's cut our losses and leave? I don't know. I actually know someone who attended this party, though, and I can tell you that they said once the party started and they cleared out the day guests, nobody was there. Like it was totally empty. They walked on everything. There were no waits for anything. They said it was the best experience they've ever had in Magic Kingdom. So if you did stick it out and the rides came back up, you had a great night. So congratulations.
Wow. Jealous, truly. Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's just wild. And it led me to say in our Discord, I now have a new Disney Parks nerd goal of being in one of the parks and every ride goes down. Because can you imagine the chaos? Like, people don't know what to do.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I necessarily want that to happen. Like, maybe we start small scale with like a couple, maybe an area. How about like a land, like Tomorrowland goes dark, or like Toy Story Land. Well, no, maybe Toy Story Land. If it goes dark at night, like that would be kind of iconic because like all the string lights and stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Halloween Hornets, but Mickey's not so scary,
Yeah.
I don't know. That could be fun.
Well, it's funny to me because like most people would think of this as a bad thing. And it was. I'm sure for the day guests, like that was a bad thing. But for those of us who frequently go to the parks, we're looking for those unique experiences in the parks. And this would have just been really interesting to be part of, I think. But anyways, good thing they got it all back up and
Yeah.
running.
Good thing. Good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, this is just funny. I look at the notes briefly before we record, but like I don't fully dive in because I like to learn the news with y'all. You know, it's like an interactive experience, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but the Walt Disney World has removed the previously published runtime from the Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After webpage. So like this came out what I want to say it came out what yesterday? Like
Yeah, a couple
right
days ago. Yeah.
yeah, it was very it was a very uh quiet drop, I want to say. But ahead of its debut this summer, Walt Disney World launched a webpage for the show, and the page features a lot of previously known information and concept art for the show. Some of the new information that it had was that it has a 40 minute
Yeah.
runtime, making it one of the longest shows at Walt Disney World. Obviously, as of you're listening to this, they have removed it. And Walt Disney World has not officially announced the runtime for the show. It was just kind of featured on that webpage, but
Yeah.
no real announcement. 40 minutes. Remember when we just did M340 and we were like,
Yeah.
let's just spend 45 minutes and like no one thinks I don't think that this is in today's world,
Yeah.
ain't no way. Like if you're spending X amount of time, like how many times are you running the show? How many people are you gonna see? Like realistically, like who is going to spend like say you visit the parks one time a year, who is going to spend a core part of their I mean, if you're going for multiple days, you could do the parks multiple times. Like
Yeah.
I would for sure do this, but like 40 minutes?
Well, most likely that's at least an hour of your day because you're going to line up early. You
Mm-hmm.
got to think about load and unload time, right? So it's probably more like an hour 10 of your day. I agree. So we were talking about this in our Diz Mornings group chat, and Nate brought up that on the Disney Cruise Line, the shows that you can bring kids to the nighttime shows, the musicals and stuff, and they're well over an hour. And and then there's also the point of like, well, Indy is a long show, and I know the Frozen Forever After show. I mean, that's like 25 minutes though. The uh, uh you know, so I don't know. 40 minutes to me seems like a long time for a show like this in the park. And I'm thinking about that particular theater. I know they're gutting it and redoing it, but like I don't
Indiana
know.
Jones is 30 minutes ish.
Yeah.
In hindsight, an extra 10 minutes, whoopity doo, an extra 10 minutes. But I don't I don't really know. Like, okay, so then you spend 40 minutes. What are the rewatchability? I mean, I guess in theory, you don't really need to care about that because Disney World's getting new people all the time.
Hmm.
So like I guess not you don't necessarily need to have some new element and you just have the show because I mean Indiana Jones is always the same too. So
Hmm.
I guess in that respect that's one thing. I can't in terms of the Disney Cruise Line though, you're going to like that's like an experience that you have a conscious like
Hmm.
I'm going on the cruise line.
This
I
is
want
what
to
I'm doing
like this
tonight.
is what I'm doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like a different like it's kind of in your plan whether it's in your plan or not.
Yeah.
Um, I just don't. I don't know.
That's how I feel about it. I just don't know if that would work. I
Like
mean,
I think the show will be good. I
yeah,
just that's a long time.
I'm just thinking more about the kids. And I do think like the show on the cruise line's a different thing because at that point you've had dinner. It's usually nighttime. You're going to go to a show like that, and that's what you're doing for the night before bed.
Yeah.
In this case, you've got kids who have been out in the hot sun, who are hungry, who are
Mm-hmm.
thirsty, who need to pee. Like kids are going to be needing to get up and down. I would think. I I just think that's long, but we'll see. We could be totally wrong here, and maybe that's absolutely what the runtime is. But I'm just saying that would be a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would be a bad. I will say Indiana Jones. It can feel long in some parts, but like I think it's a good length. as long as you're filling the time, like people are gonna
Mhm.
see it mostly because like we've been wanting a villain show or
Mhm.
villains in the parks anyway. If they can execute it well, whoopity do, like that's fantastic. Like I just think that that's long. Is
It is.
all.
It is long.
I
I mean,
just that's it.
they say like what we had in the article, and Nate said it too, is like that would be the longest show in Walt Disney World. So that tells you right there that it's an outlier.
Hmm.
So
I'm excited.
how long is Phantasmic? Because in my mind, Phantasmic is like 40 minutes. Like if you were to guess, I know you.
22 to 30.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. So longer than Phantasmic.
See, and I think Phantasmic is just like a good amount. Like, I don't know how much longer you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless there's like a pre-show. Maybe there's like a pre-show to the show and that's all encompassing.
Yeah.
And
It
that's
could
really
be.
like 30 minutes with like a 10-minute intro.
Could be. Yeah.
Huh, that wouldn't be a, like a Shrek 4D situation where
Right.
like you have the whole interactive thing and then you get into the nitty-gritty. That I think that actually would be a cool concept. Like kind of tee it up and then push them in.
Yeah. And that actually helps with crowd flow too, because
Yeah.
you're loading people in for that 10-minute thing. And then you've got, yeah, that would be better.
Huh. Wow. Because you are
Wow.
gonna have to wait in line. Like you're gonna have to wait.
Hmm.
Interesting. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how they pull this thing off.
Me too. Me too. Well, that's a show coming to Hollywood Studios this summer. Here's a show that will be leaving us in the spring of 2025.
No.
Over in the Animal Kingdom, we have an official close date for the 3D show. It's Tough to Be a Bug.
But I've only seen it once.
But you saw it with me, so
I
that was the
did.
best way you could see it.
I did.
It's Tough to Be a Bug will be closed starting March 17th. The final day to experience the show is March 16th. So if that's a show you enjoy, you've got another month ahead of you to go check it out. But be aware, Black Widow spiders will fall from the ceiling, and you'll get
Spoiler, the
stung
Loki.
in the back by yellow jackets and things. It's a good show. I think it's good. I
It
think it's
was
fun.
cute.
I do think that it's too intense for kids. I've always thought that.
Well, this is going to end up being the Zootopia, what's
Better
the
Zoo
name?
Together, I think is what it's
Better
called. Yeah,
Zoogether.
I hate
What
it.
a
I
what a
hate it.
great name. I'm gonna get you a t-shirt with it on it. Yeah, I mean, I will say I did enjoy the show. I mean, I've said this plenty of times on this podcast, I think, but A Bug's Life scares me. Or it
Mhm.
used to scare me. Now I'm an adult and like it's fine. But
She says, but she's
uh,
also still scared of
correct.
it.
I am actually really excited. I really like Zootopia, so like
Mhm.
I'm excited for something new. Though I'm sad to see something leave. But
Yeah, that's the tough part. Replacing things that we like to, because we're excited about the new stuff. We just don't like to lose stuff.
yeah.
But it has to happen. That show, you know, there were maintenance problems like with the hopper. Hopper was always impressive, but he wasn't always working. And then we noticed when we were there that Flick, who comes out of the ceiling,
He was
he wasn't
uh
doing good.
he wasn't feeling right.
He
I
had
think he
water
had
in
a
his eyeballs.
he was struggling. I think he was like crying. I think they broke the news to him before our show and like he couldn't let it all out beforehand. I feel like
Yeah.
that's what it was,
So,
but
you
you
know,
know.
maybe this show, I hope that they do, and I'm sure that they will. They'll add some elements in the theater that'll really immerse you in it, and maybe we get a cool Shakira animatronic. I don't remember her character's name.
That would be so iconic though.
Yeah,
Wow. Anyway, that's it's sad, but get your rides in. Also don't forget to go to Muppet Vision and get
that's
your
right.
rides in on that. Because
Yeah,
the time's a ticking, y'all.
yeah,
Time's a ticking, unfortunately.
yeah.
Okay, we are moving to some Star Wars news. Disney Parks has teased that Luke Skywalker will be coming to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, with more details expected to be announced in the next week. So, when you're listening to this, kind of next week, we should maybe have something new to share next week. In addition to the short video showing Luke Skywalker in Galaxy's Edge, Disney also used hashtags Disneyland Season of the Force implying that Luke Skywalker's appearance may be limited to Disneyland only because, wow, shocker, West
Right.
Coast always gets everything.
Yep.
And possibly only during the Season of the Force event. Season of the Force currently runs from March 28th to May 11th at Disneyland. I listen, why can't we have some nice things over here? Like we
They
have some
hate us.
nice things, but like why can't we get that, you know?
Yeah.
Also in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, the new nightly projection show Shadows of Memory, a Skywalker saga, will debut on March 28th, taking guests on a storytelling adventure across the galaxy. Stunning projection of effects transform the spires of Batuu near the Millennium Falcon, evoking memories of some of the greatest moments in galactic history as an iconic musical score comprised of familiar themes heard throughout the films of the Skywalker saga draws the audience into the legendary story of the Skywalkers. And of course, to no surprise, there are no plans to bring this to Hollywood studios. So we really just wanted to dangle a tease at you to tell you to go to the
Yeah.
West Coast in order to take
Ex-
part in this
yeah,
great,
exactly.
exciting, Skywalker-filled sleigh. Wow,
Yeah,
that makes
and
me sad.
it makes me sad too. And really, the only reason I thought we should include this today is because in the past we've speculated about will they ever just abandon the timeline of Batu and just bring in legacy characters? Because that's been the whole thing. Why, especially while the Galactic Star Cruiser was active, Disney
Mm-hmm.
had no intention of crossing the streams or breaking the timelines because the whole thing was trying to keep you in the right story.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously
Where's the
now,
line, I wonder?
yeah. I mean, I assume I can only tell you if it were me and I had the ability to go to Disneyland to go see Luke Skywalker, I absolutely would do it. I
Mm-hmm.
saw the video that they posted on their social media and he looks amazing, draped in his black cloak, walking to the Millennium Falcon with R2D2 like it.
Oh, you know that like there's gonna be some extra surprise. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Homeboy's gonna show up for real, for real.
Yeah.
Like they gotta tee that up somehow.
Yeah.
That's why it's
I mean,
wild, rude.
I would love to see it. And I just because we've abandoned so much of what Batu was supposed to be,
Hmm.
throw the whole thing out. Just bring in all the characters. It would make it so much more alive if you knew that you could go in there and see some of your favorites. You know, bring in Obi-Wan Kenobi, bring in Qui. I want to meet Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh, me
I
too.
mean, come
Me
on.
too, dude. Ugh.
Let's see Darth Maul walking around in there. Are you kidding me? That would be so cool.
I will say though, being in Florida, like a lot of this is like hard, like it because of the heat and they're
Yeah.
wearing robes and like I get it, you know, I understand. You got to take care of the cast members, but also like that would be so cool.
Yeah. I
Period.
mean, I think they could do it. And it doesn't, these people, excuse me, the characters, whenever
Mm-hmm.
they make their appearance, they're usually like 10, 15-minute sets and then they go back and they get a little break and they come out. So, like, take care of the cast members, of course. But I just think that they could do some of this. And if you're going to expand Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, it doesn't have to be in this Batu story. Like, I I have always been an advocate of they need some kind of a Star Wars show back there, and I would love there to be like maybe a theater you could go in and Yoda comes out and he tells you like stories of the Force and maybe like you know
Oh, that would be so cute.
yeah, that would be great. Something like that. It would be a hit, I'm telling you. And but we can't do it because it's not in the timeline. Well, throw the timeline out. That's all I'm saying. I'm fine with it. We tried
I
it for a
mean,
while.
I don't disagree. Honestly, I think like it's time.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer they can put it off, you know?
I don't know if I shared this on the podcast, but I'm going to share it now.
Oh no.
One of the last times I went to Oga's, I was speaking with one of the local bartenders. And if you've been to Oga's in the past, you know that there are a couple songs that are sort of like sing-along songs.
Hmm.
There's like a drinking song and you're supposed to like hold your drink up and go, "Hey." Hey, and then there's the part where the power goes out and they try to get everybody to like help them get the power back on. They bang on the thing. So I've noticed that they're not really the audience participation stuff is not really happening anymore.
Uh-huh.
And so I asked the bartender, I was like, this place used to be a little more lively. There used to be like with the drinking song, like more encouragement of participation and stuff like that. And the bartender told me in um, as PC terms as possible that Oga asked them not to do that stuff anymore.
Why?
I don't know. That's what I said. I I can't explain it. So if that tells you anything about what's going on in Galaxy's Edge, I just don't get it.
I don't get it either.
So it's sad because I think you want things to have like character and personality and interaction. So anyways, not to rain on all of this, even though it has sort of been like a sad story since this is only happening in Disneyland, but just like I just don't know what's going on over there.
Interesting.
Maybe I need to ask to speak to Oga next time.
Sure. May I speak to the manager? And then Oka comes out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do we even know what Oga looks like?
I don't know.
I
You
don't know
you
either.
are more of an expert than I am.
Yeah.
I just enjoy it. You know?
Well, if we have a chance to go to Oga's when you come down, Steffers, we'll do it and we can see if there's
We
still.
did it. We did it when I went last time and they didn't do it, I don't think.
That's true. That's true. We would have remembered that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. They bring the food in and they take the fun away. That's what they do. You get a little, they take away a little. Uh,
Oh.
um. So then you might wonder,
Oh no.
well, what justifies me paying so much money to go visit a Walt Disney World resort if all they're doing is taking the immersion and the fun away?
Oh no.
Listen, guys, by the way, we have to say we love Walt Disney World. We also have to balance it out by saying like guest experience should not be reduced and prices are high. If you keep increasing prices at the parks and you keep reducing experience, that's a bad thing for the guest. We are on your side. We're not just Disney shills over here saying, "Oh, go pay it and like it." No, that's not how we are. But we're not alone in this. Like this has been going on for a while. Like we know Disney is a business trying to make money for their shareholders. But recently they've been getting a little bit more attention from the media. And just this last week, I think came out on Monday in the Wall Street Journal, a reporter named Robbie Whalen. He's a journalist for the Wall Street Journal, and he wrote an article about price hikes at the theme parks and the strain it puts on guests, and the internal discussions at Disney on how to mitigate losing guests over pricing. So, and we read that Whalen worked with in concert with touring plans. Touring plans always collect so much data, so this doesn't really surprise me. Um, to put all this together and present the picture about Americans who are trying to make the decision to travel to Walt Disney World. So they put out this article. They weren't the only ones. I saw that there was a Motley Fool article that came out, and it was actually going the other direction, kind of saying like Disney can charge what they want. It's a premium experience. They're in it for the shareholders. They're trying to rate. I get, and he's right too. That's correct too. But at the end of the day, Disney is supposed to be something that everybody can experience. It's not just supposed to be for the middle or upper class. Disney should be for everyone. So Disney did respond to the Wall Street Journal article.
Mm.
I don't know that I love their response, but I will read to you. I may not read this whole thing. In fact, I just took some excerpts from their press release, but it was pretty long and thorough. And they got like Josh D'Amaro to weigh in. They also got Hugh Johnston, the chief financial officer, to weigh in. Like they get these voices of these people who are supposed to be explaining to you that you're getting value when you come to Disney. And that's essentially what the press release says. But I'll read this first part and then we can go from there. To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. This is not a great place to start. This is me editorializing. This is not a great place to start. Walt Disney said when he dedicated Disney's first theme park in 1955, It's been the company's motto ever since, and the reason why Disney has remained the leader in family travel for 7 decades and counting. Now, here's Josh tomorrow. The number one thing we hear from millions of guests who visit our parks each year is how much a Disney vacation means to them. And we intentionally offer a wide variety of ticket, hotel, and dining options to welcome as many families as possible, whatever their budget, Josh Tomorrow, chairman of Disney Experiences, said. We also know that in inflationary times, it's especially important to give families ways to save on their visits. We haven't increased the lowest price ticket to Disneyland since 2019, and we recently introduced a kids ticket for as little as $50, just to name a couple of examples. By the way, they did increase the lowest price ticket at Disney World, just FYI. We know our parks create lifelong memories for families, and we've worked hard to make a Disney vacation accessible to guests at all income levels, Hugh Johnston, CFO, the Walt Disney Company, said. With strong guest satisfaction scores and intent to visit ratings, our parks remain the most popular offering in the industry. So essentially, Disney didn't come out and say, no, this is affordable. What they said instead was, yes, our prices can be high, but also there's other options that are a little bit lower. And by the way, people who come here, they love it. They don't complain. They give us their money and they thank us for it. So here's another piece from the press release. A recent survey of 3,531 U.S. adults by Morning Consult, which, by the way, is a drop in the bucket in terms of guests that go to Disney every year, commissioned by the Walt Disney Company, revealed a strong majority of families with children under 5, number 1, said nothing compares to a Disney vacation. Number 2, said that a visit to a Disney park gives memories that last a lifetime and can't be replaced. Number 3, and those that had visited Disneyland or Walt Disney World felt the vacation was worth the expense. Now, I just have to say, I know people go into debt visiting Walt Disney World. They use their credit cards, whatever it may be. They spend more than they should because they want to make it a memorable vacation that lasts a lifetime. And I can say my family did that back in 2014. We put all of that vacation, our first trip to Disney, on credit cards. And that was money we didn't have in our pockets at the time, but we wanted to make the most of it. So, and I know that we weren't alone. I know that families do that all the time. And it's only gotten more expensive. Disney's tickets, their hotel prices, the dining options, those prices have increased more than inflation over the years. And look, I get they're saying people say they get the value, they're trying to offer this premium experience, whatever. But really, you can't, they're talking out of both sides of their mouth because they know the whole thing here is making profit and increasing stock price. Yes, do you want guests to be happy? Sure, but that's sort of like ancillary to the main goal. And if you can do things like increase prices and make people thank you for it, or shrinkflation, like take things away and keep prices the same, Disney's going to look for opportunities to do that. They're a business. That's what they do. I say all this telling you I love going to Disney. I just know it is super expensive.
It's not, it's interesting because I've said this before, but part of me feels like I have part of a mentality that's just like, if you were to decrease your prices, say follow me on this train of thought, but say you decrease your prices slightly for like annual passes, right?
Mhm.
If you're gonna make it so out of state pass holders can only buy one tier, why wouldn't you, in my head, why wouldn't you decrease the price so it's quote unquote more affordable, so that they can in turn come back more often and spend more money?
Yeah.
It, like an example. Number two, yes, there are value resorts like All Stars and stuff like that. But I will say, I've looked recently, All Stars isn't cheap, like, is no longer quote unquote, in my
Not
opinion, value.
not during busy times at all. No.
So then you fall back onto, okay, well, you can go to a Disney World. I'm talking about Disney World because Disneyland is its own beast. But then you could go to like the Disney Springs, like the partner hotels
Mm-hmm.
in that area. Those, I've stayed at those. They were a decent price. I have no idea what the prices are now. But then you really try to stretch a dollar as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where, especially with families, like even when I was growing up, like we would pack our lunches, like we would pack food so that we would save a few bucks at the parks.
Mhm.
But then you go to the parks now and all the parks have such good foods, or you go to like Epcot and there's a festival and you want to spend money and you want to do this and you want to do that. I mean it really racks up.
Yeah.
It truly does, and I get it. Everything is going up in price. Food is going up in price. Plane, gas, all the stuff in the world is going up in price, and I get it. I feel like there might be a happy medium that Disney could like meet, so that it may like I think pricing people out is inevitable. Unfortunately, I just feel like they could still price people in. Like I think that there is like a middle that they can
Mhm.
meet so that like All Star maybe isn't, too much, or like that family of six can, have a really good time at Disney World and not kind of go broke and go into
Yeah.
debt. I don't know. No, it's really tough. And I will say, I mean, I'm going down there next month. And
Yeah.
I'm fortunate where I don't have to spend money on a hotel. I have local friends where I can, hey, can I crash at your place? But not everybody has that, which is unfortunate. Am I still
Yeah.
going to pay the astronomical prices for the ticket? Yes. Am I part of the problem? Also, yes. But I think that that's kind of just where we're landing, unfortunately,
Mhm.
fortunately. Is like they're coming out with new stuff too. That's the other problem too, is that family that could only go like once every X amount of years, they went and already, and now they have to wait X amount of time before they can maybe potentially not even be able to afford it, even with all the credit cards, because
Yeah.
Disney vacations are not cheap. But like the coolest new things are coming. It's like the parks are growing and they're giving us new stuff, and it just sucks that, you know, it
Mhm.
it sucks being not full of money in my pocket for my
Not
Disney
filthy
gallery
rich.
dues.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
It's
think that's the big thing here. Yes, we're coming at this with a tone that's critical of Disney, which I think is fair. It's not unique to Disney. You
no.
know, Universal is expensive too in its own way. SeaWorld is expensive too in its own
Yep.
way.
Theme
Um,
parks, period.
yeah, these especially in Orlando, they're competing with each other, so prices go up. I can't speak to Peppa Pig theme park, but it's probably a more affordable. Um, but it's really more about I just wish more people could experience it, knowing the impact it had on me as a kid, knowing the impact it had on my kids when I got to take them. It's a memorable once it could be a once in a lifetime
That's what I'm saying.
experience. And there's so many people who when you nowadays and I'm sure that in some way it's always been this way, but nowadays you've got to you got to decide am I going to compromise on hotel, am I going to compromise on food, am I going to compromise on souvenir, like what am I going to be cutting budget so I can pay for these park tickets, like
And if I'm being honest, I would stay off site. I get
yeah.
it. A lot of people get an Airbnb so they have a kitchen so that they can cook their own food. If I
Mhm.
were to price out like to the thing, I would focus on getting to the park and buying like souvenirs. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
But like, I think what people planning vacations, any theme park, especially with Epic Universe opening up, and I'm sure that's going to be astronomical for many people, like they're going to be, breaking the bank on that too. I think you just have to decide where your value is going to be. I think if you find like what's the most bang for your buck, you're going to have a great time regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I really, and I mean, I will say in a way that, I mean, I still don't think, the astronomical pricing is great, but like I will say in a way with the prices going up, it really helps you prioritize or figure out what your priorities are when you're planning your vacations,
Hmm.
which, I wish it didn't have to be because of the financial part of it, but like that's helpful.
Yeah.
It's very much like a, okay, maybe we'll splurge on one meal. This is something we really want to do, and then you move, and you can still make all the memories and have a great time.
Yeah. I think that's the big thing. Going in eyes wide open, being able to plan out where you are going to make your choices on budget cuts and where you're going to splurge. That's the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like I said, maybe to some extent it's always been this way, but now when you start adding in things like, well, now you have to pay for Lightning Lane, which used to be Fast Pass Plus, which was included.
Mhm.
You know, like little things like that. You are,
And we're coming from it from
yeah.
we come from it from an experience standpoint. There are people that have never been that are experiencing like this is their like, oh my gosh, this is Disney. You know what I mean? And I think that
Mhm.
that's a crazy concept.
Yeah. Oh, almost every time I go to the parks, I see examples of people who, and I feel for them. They came to Disney thinking I'm going on a vacation. That, you know, just like a normal vacation where I got my room, I got my park tickets, it's going to be great. And they don't think about, oh, there was a virtual queue for Guardians of the Galaxy and now I can't ride today. You're telling me that I don't have the option to ride this ride? Like, I mean, but yes, you do. You just have to pay for it. Or maybe you get the 1 p.m. drop. Like, that's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of more casual Disney fans who don't
Mhm.
do all the kind of research. And I think we're preaching to the choir here because I think our main audience are people who are in the details, so
Yeah.
they get it. But like, I don't know. Like you said, I feel like I just feel for the people who, you know, maybe aren't aware and they go once and they're going now and they're like, what? I had, and you hear people say it was a terrible experience. I'm never going back. And those people typically did not know all the
Mhm.
stuff, you know, and they had to pay the same price as we did. And they went in and didn't get to do the stuff they wanted to do because they didn't know you had to make your reservations for dining 60 days in advance or whatever it may be. So, yeah, it's tough. And even though we love going to the parks, we also realize we are very, very fortunate that we get to do it. And I just wish people could have like the experiences that they like. That's the bottom line. I want people to have the experiences that make it feel magical when they come down here. So I hope in some way we help with that. We can't help you with the cost other than maybe giving you some like Steffer's recommendation of staying off site, but ticket prices we can't help you with. But maybe we're helping you a little bit with planning your day out. If that's the least we can do and you get more out of your park day because of that, then I'm glad that we do this. So, anyways.
Me too.
So I knew that was going to be a big topic, but I think it's important. I mean, again, like I think we try to be pretty like positive about a lot of things around Disney, a lot of changes, a lot of different things, other than them just giving Disneyland all the fun stuff and us nothing. But I think you do have to be realistic about like, I mean, it's tough out there. It's a tough financial world, and Disney's expensive. People look at the last thing I'll say. SeaWorld is in a different category because their ticket prices are much, much lower than Walt Disney World and Universal. However, you go to SeaWorld and you don't know what you're getting into, and then you get the sticker shock of how expensive the food and drinks are because it's like twice, if not three times worse, especially for alcohol. And you're like, what is going on? Well, that's how they get their money. It's like going to a movie, you know. Um, so people have complained about that for a long time. I I guess my problem is it's way more expensive to get into Disney, but the ticket price or the food and drink prices are still pretty high. Like that's something it feels like. And you said they could reduce. They're never going to reduce prices from where they're at now. So if that's being the case, they just need to give more value and maybe just
That's what I'm saying. I think
yeah,
I genuinely think it's just about balancing the scales a little bit.
yeah,
But
absolutely. Okay, I think I'm off my soapbox.
okay. Well, we can get off your soapbox and we can head to Epcot with a little Flogar update.
Woo!
Epcot's International Flower and Garden Festival, one of our faves.
Hmm.
A new Moana topiary is coming to Epcot's main entrance. An all-new topiary display will be making big waves this year at the main entrance of Epcot. Make way for Maui, Moana, Hei Hei, and Pua, crafted with an artist's careful eye and horticulturalist's loving care. Why? How come I can say that
Wow, you
word and
nailed it.
like listen, my brain is braining. These new topiaries will be the perfect welcome to the guests walking into the park for a full day of floral fun. There's also a new Communicore Hall activation. Getting ready to bloom at Communicore Hall. A new activation. Get a bee's eye view,
Yeah, that's
really,
what they
Disney.
said.
Get a bee's eye view at Communicore Hall with a new gallery that is larger than life. Grab a bite at Epcot Farmers Feast and learn more about how Disney's horticulture team brings topiaries, flower towers, and more to the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival. The festival will run from March 5th to June 2nd, and it will feature more than a dozen topiaries. It sounds like they're embedding some edutainment, sort of.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit. It's exciting. I mean, they've set a new standard with the Festival of the Arts Communicore Hall display, so
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what they do. I hope that this will, if they nail this one, then I think that we could go ahead and say Disney learned their lesson about what to do.
I think they're getting into their groove. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe that's a hot take, but I think they're doing it, you know?
I hope so. I hope it stays that way. Interesting. Moana taking over the main entrance because
Just let it go. Just let it go.
well, I was just gonna say the last 2 years it's been Encanto that I've had the main like right front and center. You come into
Well, Moana 2
Epcot.
just recently came out.
Yeah, yep, and that's probably why this is happening. And we all know if Disney can find a way to put Moana in the park, they're gonna do it. So it's fine. I find it interesting talking about we're going to learn how the horticulture team brings topiaries to life. I don't know if this is ruining any magic for anybody,
No,
but
you're ruining my magic. You're ruining my magic.
I
don't know.
feel like so many of those topiaries when I look at them, I'm like, those aren't real. I mean, maybe they all are. They just do such a good job. They don't look like real plants to me, most of them. So
I guess we'll find out.
yeah, they'll find out. This is what we do. We make a chicken wire frame. We spray it green, and we tell you all. It's
Oh my
topiary.
gosh, that would be so forked. So forked. That's not nice. That's a lie.
They look too good. Maybe that's the problem. They just look too good, and I'm like, that's not real. I hope they bring back the teenage Groot topiary holding the cassette that played the
Yeah, I
music.
really like that. That's one of my favorite pictures I've ever taken, actually, at the park.
Yeah, that was really good. So bring that one back. That one might be my favorite one.
I love Groot.
Yeah. And he's perfect. He's already a plant.
Mm-hmm.
So of course
What more do you have to do?
they need a rocket.
Oh, hold on, wait. Ready? A Bob Ross Groot Chia Pet. Bob
Okay.
Ross Groot Chia Pet, period.
For-
Tell me you
for
wouldn't buy
purchase?
that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, listen, it's a Disney dollar deal.
Yeah. So I've only ever had one chia pet, and have you ever had a chia pet?
No.
They start out great.
Chia.
They start out great, and then they get gross because they get like moldy and stuff, or mine did anyway. Maybe I did it wrong. Mine was it was a Golden Girls. I think it was Sophia chia
Hot
pet.
take. I haven't seen Golden Girls. Anyway, I finally saw The Princess Bride, though. I hadn't seen
Oh.
Princess Bride, and my friends yelled at me, and they were like, "It's a classic. What do you mean?" It was a whole thing. Yeah. Anyway,
That movie, I like The Princess Bride. I think it's really goofy and funny, but also I just know it as so many people use that movie as like a comfort movie. Like if they're feeling sad, that's a movie they'll put on. It makes them feel better.
I guess I see it, but like not really.
Yeah. Well, you didn't. It's not nostalgic to you. You've never seen it before. So I'm like, these are people who probably like when they were kids, they saw it, and
True.
But I do like that movie. Fred Savage looking like a little kid, getting.
It's so funny. I didn't even know who was in it. And I looked, I said, "Is that Fred Savage?" And I looked up the cast and I was like, "Wow, I'm so smart."
Yeah.
Like I nailed it like right. I was like, "I know that. I know that kid. He has a
Mhm.
very distinct like look."
He really does. Yeah, he still kind of looks like that as a middle-aged or
And then,
older man.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a good movie. But I was gonna say about Golden Girls, Steffers, you were trying to bury this lead, so I didn't jump on you
Oh,
about it.
I'm really glad.
Golden Girls is one of my favorite shows of all time. I say unironically. And listen, you will be staying with me during the Living with the Landed time frame, and I own
Of
several
course you do.
seasons of Golden Girls on DVD.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
It's so good,
Oh,
Stefford.
look, I think I've fallen and I can't get up. or something.
Well, as long as it's in the living room, I'll just put it on the big TV. You won't have to move. You can just watch Golden Girls. It's so
Hold
good.
on a second. Hold on a second. That's fine. We can watch Golden Girls. I don't care. As long as we also. Oh wait, is Big Brother over?
Yeah.
Oh, Big Brother. Fun fact: Big Brother is my guilty pleasure only when I visit Justin. I don't like trash TV, but I will watch Big Brother whenever I'm over.
Yep. Oh, it's fun to watch and talk trash with your friends when you watch Big Brother.
100%.
Yeah. Are you not watching The Traitors, Steffers?
Bless you.
You're not
What does that
watching The
even mean?
Traitors?
What does that mean?
That's a reality show. It's on Peacock.
I don't watch reality TV.
But it's
I
a game
promise you.
show.
I don't.
It's so good. They commit murder.
The only kind of murders that I watch are the Clue games I play with my friends, and that's all I got for you.
I think you would like this one. Plus, it's cool because they bring on now, I don't think it started this way, but now they bring on people who have been like
Murders?
reality stars in other
Oh.
shows. So there's always Big
Oh.
Brother people, there's Survivor people. They bring on Real Housewives. Yeah,
I
I
have to
know.
look into this because now I'm just questioning life.
It's very Tom Sandoval's on there this season. Who, if you know,
I
Tom.
know who that is.
Yeah,
I know who that is. Listen,
Yep.
I used to be a Vanderpump girly back in the day.
hmm I've only ever watched like 2 episodes of Vanderpump. I was like, should I get into this? I think the answer is no, but I know about Scandival. Everybody knows
Bro,
about that.
I watched like the OG
Mm-hmm.
before like it went downhill and whatever. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's not the point of this podcast. But
Oh,
you know,
well.
Disney, Epcot.
We
Yep.
got off track. We were talking about Golden Girls, but that is Disney because the Golden Girls house, the exterior used to be at Hollywood Studios. So,
Oh, wow.
and
Fun
now
facts.
if you want to stand where that was, you go to Docking Bay 7 because I think that's exactly where the Golden Girls house was.
Aw, I didn't know that. Maybe I did at one point, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, fun fact. See, we brought it all back around.
I love that for us, even though we were in Epcot. But that's okay.
You didn't have to point that out.
I know. I didn't have to, but it makes it more fun.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, if you want to have more fun, there's lots of ways that you can do that with us.
Mm-hmm.
We are all over the place. You can
Mhm.
follow us at Morning Monorail on most social media apps, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, at Morning Monorail. We also have a Facebook group, Monday Morning Monorail Fam, and we have a Discord that you can join and talk to us all week long. And that would be like if you wanted to give me a late Valentine's present, join the Facebook or join the Discord. That would make me feel very happy. And I would feel the love. It's important for you to join the Facebook group because then you see what events we have coming up. And the biggest one, the one you need to be aware of, is Living with the Landon. April 1st, 2025, less than 2 months away. Landon is turning 40 years old. And as a celebration of his milestone, he's going to be raising money for Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee, specifically the Food for Kids program. And the way he's going to do that, he's going to ride Living with the Land all day long on April 1st. Steffers is going to be there. I'm going to be there. And we're just going to be running that thing as long as it stays up, we'll be riding it all day. And you can get involved by making a pledge to Landon. Go to livingwiththelandon.com and you can either make a per lap pledge, which is that'll be a donation per ride, or you can make a one-time donation. And all you have to do is fill out the form and tell us how you would like to contribute. Once the event's over, we will reach out. We'll send emails to everybody who has signed up, and we'll let you know how many laps Landon completed, and we'll give you instructions on how to donate. So it would mean a lot to us for you to participate. And if you want to come hang out, you know exactly where. You know our assassination coordinates on April 1st, 2025.
Oh, that was not. No. None of that. None of that.
We will be riding Live with the Land, and you can come ride with us. I also posted an event May 16th, which is going to be our Save the Muppets Day. So if you want to come out to Hollywood Studios on May 16th and watch Muppet Vision 3D all day long, because that's what we're going to do, come do that. And don't forget, you can go to our TeePublic store or Diz Mornings. You can still buy the Save the Muppets t-shirts. So I feel like it'd be great if we all had Save the Muppets t-shirts on that day. So anyway, the Facebook group, you can keep up with the events that are going on. Great things, fun things to be involved in.
And we will be signing autographs at Living with the Landon.
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to.
Just like if you previously purchased merch, we will sign them for you because we are giving people and we just want to give you a piece of our I'm
We're
going off the
giving,
rails.
giving while we living. And so we'll bring Sharpies. It'll be fun.
Oh, that would be so cute though, for real.
Yeah. I'll sign your arm, like your bicep, if you want to get my name tattooed on your arm. That'd be cool.
We
Or
can
your
have a
butt.
conversation. I knew this was going to go off the rails. Anyway.
So that's all the morning monorail stuff. Steffers, talk about your Twitch stream some more. Let people know where and when they should find you.
Oh, okay. Well, hello. Adventures with Steffers on Twitch, Adventures with Steffers on YouTube. I am live on Twitch Wednesdays and Fridays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Saturdays, I typically go live at 5:30. Sometimes I go live earlier. You know, it's up to you. Wherever the wind blows, really. Adventures with Steffers on Instagram, and it's Steffers on Blue Sky. And yeah, I don't know. I finally finished Final Fantasy VII Remake, the main story. Hopefully I'm finishing the DLC tonight.
Nice.
So when you're listening to this, like I'm hopefully already done. And then I will be playing Rebirth. So I'm very, very excited.
Awesome. That's exciting. And I know your YouTube is growing. You're getting bigger and bigger every day, Steffers. You're going to be a star, a Twitch star. I believe it.
I'm manifesting it for myself.
Manifestation works. I believe in manifestation. So
I believe in us.
I believe in a thing called love.
Crazy little thing called love.
Go check out Adventures with Steffers and make sure you subscribe to all the things. And that reminds me, we're on YouTube now. Steffers is posting our videos to YouTube. So, like, if you want to see, I'm actually in the queue for Star Tours right now. And C-3PO what is he looking at?
I don't know.
I can't see what
he's looking at something, and I'm just in my office, and here I am.
Maybe a light was out. But you can see us. You can see Steffers in her Valentine's best. You can see me in my Wookiee hat. It looks like I skinned Chewbacca and made a hat out of him. But check it out on the Monday Morning Monorail YouTube channel. And as for me, I'm Justin Monorail. Justin Monorail, no spaces on Blue Sky. Justin_Monorail everywhere else. And if
wait. THEDOZ.
Please go follow he.
Oh yeah, I couldn't remember that part. Yeah, on Blue Ski.
Yeah, Blue Ski.
Blue Ski. Landon is on Blue Ski, and we would be remiss if we did not at least plug him once.
That's true.
That's true. That's not what I meant. I hate it here.
He's on his anniversary trip. I'm sure he's.
I apologize for Justin being gross about Landon. Jeez Louise.
What's up there?
Okay. Well, all right. Justin is being corrupted by light ghost things. And this episode's officially off the rails.
That's right. I thought you were going to close us out, Steffers, but I'll handle it from here.
Yeah, no, you inspire us, so you have to inspire us.
I will do it. Listen, we love all of you. Thank you so much for being part of the Monday Morning Monorail family. And I hope that you do all the things, connect with us everywhere. But if you don't, if you just show up here next week, that's fine with us too. And we'll be right here with another episode of the Monday Morning Monorail. Until then, thank a team member, thank a cast member, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.